you've ever searched for books on manifestation, you'll know there's thousands of them, and I've read hundreds. Now that might sound obsessive, but there's always been a part of me that wants to cut through the noise and to get to the real substance. And here's the thing, most of these books say the same thing, just dressed up in different language. But within the pages of these books, patterns start to appear. Patterns that point to what actually works and what people get wrong. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what you really need to know. Not the fluff, not endless techniques, but the distilled essence of manifestation, as it appears in the classics of the 19th and 20th century, in Neville Goddard's teachings, and even in today's scientific papers. Think of this as me saving you years of reading, and giving you all the good stuff in one go. So let's start with what unites these books across history. In the 19th century, we had the New Thought movement. Phineas Quimby talked about the mind as a healer. Florence Scovel Shinn insisted words shape reality. And James Allen said your mind is a garden you must tend. Now the language that they used was all different, but they all circled around one core principle, that your inner world dictates your outer world. Fast forward to Neville Goddard in the mid-20th century, and you see this idea moving to its clearest form. Assumption creates reality. Neville stripped away the vague, positive thinking of earlier authors and made it practical. You don't just wish for what you want. You assume that you are already it. Enter the state, live from it, persist in it. When you look at these teachings across time, you realize that there was nothing new about manifestation. The wording evolves, but the essence remains the same. Your imagination and belief reshapes your experiences. So after reading book after book, one thing became clear to me. Most people get stuck obsessing over techniques. They chase after vision boards, affirmations, scripting, or the latest secret method, thinking the technique itself has the power. But here's the thing, every one of those tools is just a means to an end. They're designed to shift your inner state, and nothing more. Neville Goddard put it bluntly, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. He often repeated the phrase, you're already that which you seek. If you don't shift the state you're operating from, no technique will ever work consistently. The outer world is simply a mirror of your inner state. And this is not just a spiritual principle. Modern science demonstrates the same. Neuroscientists have shown that the brain doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and so-called real ones. In other words, when you assume the state of already having what you desire, you're not pretending. You're literally reshaping the neural patterns and chemical signals your body runs on. You're rewriting your own operating system. This is why it's dangerous to become a collector of techniques. You'll be stuck searching for the perfect one, while never actually changing within. The real question is not which method shall I try next. The only question worth asking is what state am I embodying right now? Because that state will always outpicture itself into your reality. So here's something that really surprised me. Once you've trained your eye to see it, manifestation principles are everywhere. They're intertwined into movies, novels, and even the commercials we skip without thinking. But here's the thing, we've been conditioned to see them just as fantasy, not instruction. Take films, for example. How many times have you seen a hero step into a battle already knowing they'll win? That's not luck, that's assumption. The law of assumption in action. Or think of stories where characters hold such an unshakable belief that the world seems to bend in their favor. That's persistence. These aren't just plot devices. They're reflections of how reality actually works when you live from the state of certainty. Even advertising uses the same principles. A brand doesn't just show you a product, it shows you who you'll be once you have it. That's identity creation, the same principle Neville Goddard spoke about when he said you manifest what you are and not what you want. The irony is almost painful. Culture's been broadcasting these truths all along. But because we've been taught that imagination is just pretend, we fail to see the mechanisms of creation hiding in plain sight. So here's the challenge. Next time you sit down to watch a film or read a story, go a little deeper. Instead of asking, is this realistic? Ask yourself, what law of manifestation is being illustrated here? You might realize that the secrets have been sitting in front of you the whole time. Okay, so let's get to something which I think is crucial. A lot of people dismiss manifestation because they want scientific proof. And usually the conversation stops at neuroplasticity, the reticular activating system, and the placebo effect. These are all powerful, but I want to take this further. For years, scientists have believed that quantum effects couldn't survive inside a warm, messy biological system like the human body. But research in quantum biology is proving otherwise. Certain proteins and brain structures may actually sustain quantum states. If that's true, then your thoughts and imagination might not just alter brain chemistry. They could be operating on a quantum level, shaping probabilities before they collapse into outcomes. There are also studies showing that brain signals don't fit neatly into a classical model. When people are consciously aware, strange evoked signals appear. Signals some researchers argue could point to coherence or even entanglement in the brain. That means consciousness might not just ride along with the brain's processes, it might actually be steering them. So mainstream psychology backs this up in a more grounded way. We know that attention alone is not enough. People often intend to act but don't follow through, yet studies show that when you add emotional imagery, when you feel the outcome is real, the gap between intention and action closes. The inner state makes the behavior inevitable. Okay, so I want to be honest. After reading hundreds of books, it doesn't mean that you manifest perfectly every time. There are pitfalls, and they show up for everyone. The first is doubt. You imagine, you affirm, you visualize, and then nothing happens. The temptation is to throw the whole thing out as fantasy, but every teacher, Neville especially, stressed persistence. Doubt is just the mind's old programming, trying to drag you back. The second is impatience. We live in a world wired for instant results, but manifestation follows natural gestation periods, just like a seed in the ground. Give up too soon, and you'll cut yourself off just before the sprout appears. And the third is external validation. This is so important because people wait for signs in the physical world before they allow themselves to believe. But manifestation doesn't work that way. The belief comes first, the evidence comes second. If you flip that order around, you'll be stuck forever. The solution to this is keep returning to your inner state. Assume, persist, detach. Every obstacle is just an invitation to deepen your conviction. So after all this reading, what do I actually take away? It's simple. You don't need hundreds of books or a library of techniques. What you need is clarity on the essence. Imagination is not fantasy, it's creation. Belief is not optional, it's the engine. Persistence is not punishment, it's proof that you've assumed the state. Whether it's the new thought writers of the 19th century, Neville Goddard in the 20th, or neuroscientists today, they're all converging on the same truth. Your inner world is just the blueprint. And here's the best part, you already have everything that you need. You don't need external permission, another guru, or a shiny new method. You just need to decide, who am I willing to assume myself to be? Because once you answer that, the rest unfolds naturally. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.